Hello and welcome to Living as Is. And I'm Shah. Before I move on into my own rising, I'll just go over a couple of things. As I mentioned before, Kundalini Shakti is viewed as the divine presence within. In her sleep state, she'll be wrapped 3.5 times around the base, and in the least, stirring every now and again. This image just shows the lower base section of the spine to give you an idea of where Kundalini will start from. She can sit at the base of your spine, never move throughout your entire life, or shifting every now and again. I feel Kundalini may become most active if the vessel, your body, is in a condition best for her to move. Actually, mentioning that, this is probably a good moment to make an important point. Kundalini is most probably the strongest energy within your form, and when the time is right, she'll rise, regardless of the work you may have been doing. If you are working with Kundalini, it's important to have a healthy system, and a good place to start can be your nervous system. As she's moving up through the spine, which houses your nervous system, always a good place to start. Nervous system. Adding on to this, your mental, physical, and emotional states. However, as mentioned above, when the time is right for her, she'll rise. And it is also said, if a person has had a rising in a previous lifetime, then she may rise again to the same level and start over in her attempts towards the crown. I am not a doctor or any kind of medical practitioner. And as Kundalini may cause a problem with your system, perhaps seek medical advice first. Although modern medicine is sometimes not open to things like Kundalini, perhaps a Ayurvedic doctor may be a bit more open to that. And also, my understanding of Kundalini has come from research over the years since my experience. All of this, you could say, are the cons to getting into Kundalini without doing your research and checking your system. On the pros side, Kundalini can also provide deep insights and connection to the universe. After my rising, it felt as if the crown was open and connection was made, and I'm being fed information and growing. Once active, she'll be looking to move through the Sushumna, the central channel, your spine, and there are volumes written on Kundalini. Just use your discernment when researching. For myself, it was an experience I was never informed over. And at the time, I did feel my mentor played it down, which left me feeling really disappointed. So, here we are, stepping back into 1992, and I'm 25 years old. I bought a small book, Introduction to Meditation. Within the book, the author introduced chakras and gave a small amount of meditations. Around about the same time, I was given a tape from my mentor. Now, way back in 92, no CDs or sophisticated mobile phones. This tape was 45 minutes long, and halfway through, it was suggested to introduce a small 15-minute meditation. Now, what happened in this meditation over time brought a way of perceiving the rigid and structured methods under question. But it also gave me a lot to contemplate. And I'll be discussing these thoughts in another video. However, what's been understood over time, the emphasis on individuality and the difference in perceiving life has shown methods of meditation can be as varied as they need to be. Hence, we have many differing schools of meditation, but I will never place one over the other, as many try to. Come to my system. Oh, this is the best. Oh, this will work. Just because one system works for someone doesn't mean it will work for everyone. So, here I am, 1992, and putting myself into meditation at 11 p.m. every evening. The chosen meditation? Well, I made it up based on the little handbook. I saw each chakra as a colour and a globe ball of energy. It moved in rhythm with my breathing as I breathed in and out. I also visualized its size increased and decreased, which meant there was a flow as breathing slowed and balanced. The movement of the chakras came to match. As I was new to chakras and to help remember, I used a phrase. Richard of York gave battle in vain. When I started at the base, I made a mental note. There's only 15 minutes for this. Then proceeding with my focus for each chakra. The taped meditation consisted of a church organ and guided meditation. This church organ took a week or two to actually get used to because I'm not really a fan of church organ music. However, eventually moving into a lulled and relaxed state. So every night for a year, focused on the chakra meditation. Then we arrive a year to the date of starting. Excuse me. Just after my birthday, now 26. Down in the base, there's a stirring, like a vibration. There's a bit of an odd vibration. It was right where I was focusing, at the perineum. As this vibration started, there was a sweeping sensation, and it moved upward into the spine. This flow repeated itself wave after wave, again and again, and it moved up from the base, up through the spine, towards the throat. At first, I'm thinking this is different. I can work with this. This is new, not experienced it before. However, this wave was followed by heat. It was kind of like a ring of fire just passed over my body. It's like it moved up from the base and expanded out. The energy not just being focused on the spine, but I would say it came from the spine. So it kind of like, as it moved up, it radiated out and it moved centrally outward, as if it matched my breathing as well. As the heat increased, I'm becoming a bit concerned now. And I thought, move. But my arms wouldn't move. So I then thought legs, but no. Legs stuck in place. Concerns coming over me now. The heat increasing, the waves increasing in frequency, everything increasing. And I think, call out. No voice. Okay. To say I was starting to freak a little would be a slight underestimating of my concern. The heat and waves steadily increasing, adding to it, I start getting a pain in my abdomen. It's like something is trying to push its way through, and it's not feeling like it's stopping anytime soon. But then, I had a really bizarre thought. Oh, the bed could be soaked from sweat. It feels as if I'm sweating. From all this heat, it feels like I'm sweating. I'll need to check the bed if this ever stops. What the heck? The waves are increasing. It's now a steady flow. Everything, the pain, everything increasing. And then I feel this pull as if I'm being pulled out of the body. I'm pulled up and I'm floating. I gain some vision, and it's like I'm on a cliff edge overlooking the ocean. But I live in the middle of the countryside. Go figure. And this same pull that pulled me out the body, is now pulling me out into the ocean. Out in the distance, there's a shaft of vertical white light, and I'm floating towards it. The closer I move towards this light, the more apparent it becomes. It's also matching my breathing. Everything is matching my breathing. Moving closer, it's like there's a hole, and there's something trying to push its way out of this hole, and it's matching the pain in my abdomen. So whatever this is causing this pain in my abdomen. Getting closer, I'm starting to make out an animal's head, and I'm kind of thinking, it looks like a snake. However, it kind of has the look of a dragon. And then with one push, out comes a dragon's head. a dragon's head. The pain worsening as it's now trying to force its body out. Oh hell, why not? Got its head out? Let's go for the body. It's killing me. This is. If I had a voice, I'd have been screaming the house down at this point. And then with one humongous push, out comes a dragon. A dragon. A dragon. It's standing above the hole, and coming out of the hole like a firework display of white and silver. And then a voice asks, "Do you accept the dragon?" Oh, I'm cursing, I'm swearing, I'm like bloody hell is nothing on what I'm saying in my head. And I'm refusing point blank. Look at the size of it. It's as big as a block of flats. Do you see the size of this thing? Again, do you accept the dragon? I am still cursing at this beast, this size of this animal. And I don't know what to do, but I'm being pulled towards it. Third time. Do you accept the dragon? And I don't know what to do. I'm completely bemused by this. However, a peace comes over me. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I'm the dragon. In that moment, flash of light. And I am putting on a dragon costume. I'm pulling up one leg, I'm pulling up the other leg, pulling up the body, and then I flick over the dragon's head, and there's just this burst of white light, and I'm gone. The sensation of floating, gone. Instead, a feeling of nothingness. White, pure emptiness. And all I am, consciousness. Consciousness in emptiness. I start to have abstract thoughts, and I'm thinking of a rock, suddenly becoming a rock on a beach with water coming over. I think of grass. I'm grass in a field with the wind blowing through and over. Anything I think of, animal, mineral, vegetable, I become it immediately. After what felt like hours, there's a sensation of dropping, and it's as if I could be moving back to my body. And then off in the distance, I get this voice. You can now come back to your body. I'm thinking, hang on, that's the voice of the tape. And I am absolutely amazed. This whole experience was only 15 minutes. I can feel the body forming around me. I can feel legs, and I move them, check. I can feel my arms, move them, check. And then my abstract thought comes back, and I'm scrambling underneath the body, and I'm trying to feel, is the bed wet? Is the bed soaked? No, it's completely dry. Go figure. I'd left a paper and pen by the bed for anything that might happen. And I grabbed it. I'm now scribbling down in case I forgot. Oh, come on. Not like I'm going to forget that anytime soon. I then pick up the meditation book and I'm scouring through it because something in my head told me there's something similar in here. Get to the back of the book, and I've got the author's Kundalini Rising. Now, it was quite different to mine, but waves of energy, white light, sparks. There was enough similarities to say I just experienced a Kundalini rising. And as mentioned, I told my mentor, and all they had to say, I had a similar experience, and it passed after a couple of weeks. Disappointed, really disappointed. What I had just gone through for myself was phenomenal. An unbelievable experience of energy, of heat, being a dragon, and especially as the kind of after effects that carried on. It was like the skull cap had been removed, permanently connected to the universe, and there was a feeling of expansion and sensations of just knowing appearing, and I just kept like feeling I was growing, I was expanding in some way. 8 years later, the internet has arrived, and finding a group of people that could help, it was confirmed, yes, I had a Kundalini rising. Now, You do have to bear in mind, Kundalini can be a very different experience person to person. We have different biologies. Why wouldn't it be different? Our life experiences are different. We can be very different to one another. Why would the experiences of Kundalini not be different? At one point, working in an alternative health clinic, I decided to join a Kundalini yoga group. Not long after joining, I decided, not such a good idea, I'm going to stop. A reason? Because Kundalini yoga is specifically designed to help Kundalini rising. Or it can be used to help with the symptoms of Kundalini. In my case, it just kept giving her what she needed to work. And that just proved really uncomfortable for my body at the time. So I decided not to do the yoga. And after speaking with numerous people over their own rising and reading Kundalini Vidya, yes, there are many different ways Kundalini will rise. Essentially, she's always aiming for the Sushumna. But you have different channels. You have the Ida and Pingala. You have different ways in which she can make a tunnel through. But if Kundalini doesn't make it to the crown through the Sushumna, that's where she's looking for another route. And that's why there are many ways. Once she makes it to the crown, that doesn't mean it's all complete. She'll need to come back down again to settle, to find a place to settle. And for many people, it may be the heart chakra. For myself, I feel it's the third eye. Her rise to the crown is just making the connection. After that, she needs to settle in this vessel, in you. So she'll look for somewhere. I would suggest anyone thinking of working with Kundalini and getting her to rise, consider this. Kundalini does not always make it to the crown in one go. Some people have experienced rough time with their rising as it affects the emotions, the physical, and the mind. If you do consider working with Kundalini, I sincerely suggest you consult with a medical professional. Use your discernment. Is this the right thing for you? As well as ensuring the people you choose to work with are the right people for yourself. Kundalini, for me, once I feel she went through to the crown. So once through to the crown, she then spent time coming backwards and trying to figure out where to sit after that with different things I was doing with transmediumship, with Kundalini yoga. She was always active a lot of the time. And so it took, for me, I feel it took quite a lot of time for her to settle down, which she did eventually. And I've worked in all sorts of fields with transmediumship, mediumship, meditation, clairvoyancy, tarot reading. And for myself, the best and the most gracious benefit I feel of all is the connection to the universe and my own expansion of myself and where I move next. So, thank you for watching until the end. And come along, click like and subscribe. Click to be notified when the next video is out. Thank you for watching until the end. Blessings to you all.